Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Coming to you from South Alabama on an absolutely beautiful, perfect weekend. Woke up to about 40 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. Fall is in the air, and life is good. Hope life is good for you too. I got a little reading for you today called "The Power of Kindness." It's how we're wired. If you didn't know that. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you'd go down there and hit that subscribe button and come back and check out a little bit more of my content. I was reading this article this morning and I just wanted to share it. It's a good one. It's kind of an uplifting, makes you feel good type thing, which is the kind of things I'm looking for these days. The name of the article, it's on I'll try to remember to put the link down below. It's on a site called mission.org. The title of it is "How the Power of Kindness Impacts Your Life and Others" by a gentleman named Tony Faucry. Wired for kindness, and it starts off with a quote: "Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world." Desmond Tutu. Can you recall a time somebody was kind to you? Now change the scenario and think of a time you were kind to another person. Call to mind their reaction and how you responded. Move into your heart and notice the feelings there. If you read no further than this point, you should know that kindness affects the user and the experiencer, leaving a lasting impression on both. In this fast-paced world, kindness and compassion takes a back seat to selfies, self-interest, and expendable human interactions. Every person is waiting to be discovered or become rich, believing it holds the key to their happiness. Yet when they attain success, they long for their former life, having underestimated the trappings of fame and celebrity. I enjoy the quote by Professor of Environmental Studies and Politics, David W. Orr. "The plain fact is that the planet does not need more successful people, but it does desperately need more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of every kind. It needs people who live well in their places. It needs people of moral courage willing to join the fight to make the world habitable and humane. And these qualities have little to do with success as we have defined it. Kindness is fundamental to the human existence. We are thrust into the world as newborns and enriched with the kindness of our parents, nurturing for the ensuing years. Humans are the only mammals with a prolonged gestation period. Other creatures rely on support for a brief time before becoming self-reliant. We are powerless at birth and depend on our caregivers to provide for our needs. Therefore, kindness is sewn into the framework of our DNA. We are literally wired for kindness. Every person has opinions on how to improve the world, though no one wants to practice kindness in their own backyard. Do no harm. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see." Mark Twain. World peace will not arise from overthrowing dictatorial powers or ending conflicts between nations. It will happen when humanity raises its consciousness beyond that of fear and hatred. I've often repeated that peace is only a thought away. Its motives emerge through kind thoughts towards oneself and others. Unconditional love flows through specific channels of respect, integrity, purpose, meaning, value, responsibility, forgiveness, kindness, and compassion. And these form the foundation of our new, naturally ethical lives, says author and psychotherapist Locke Kelly in Shift into Freedom, The Science and Heart of Open-Hearted Awareness. Kindness is not something that demands hard work. It originates from the simple act of doing no harm to others. It involves judging less, however compelled you might be to do so. The ego is quick to judge when it is victimized and hurt, so it retaliates in revenge. Remember that one. That one really struck me. The ego is quick to judge when it is victimized and hurt, so it retaliates in revenge. I can relate to that. Kindness, however, bites its tongue. It does not seek to be right, but to preserve peace of mind. You gain little by giving someone a piece of your mind other than inciting conflict and separation. That's something I'm constantly working on because that is an instinct. You know, somebody strikes out at you, you want to go back at them. You want to go back at them. It was the Lebanese born poet Khalil Gibran who wrote, I have learnt silence from the talkative, toleration from the intolerant, and kindness from the unkind. Yet strange, I am ungrateful to these teachers. It might be clear to you that fighting force with force is not the way towards peace. But you might ask, does that mean allowing others to treat me unfairly? No, not by any means. Though you needn't retaliate with overwhelming force. I'm not implying you become a doormat, however, I urge you to accept the lessons contained within the experience. Are you letting others treat you unfairly on some level, or unconsciously giving them permission to do so? No matter how anyone responds to your kindness, just by repeating out loud the words you didn't hear often enough or never heard at all, you guarantee yourself to be the one who exits each scene of life more healed, aligned, and expanded than the moment before, affirms author Matt Kahn in Whatever Arises, Love That, a love revolution that begins with you. Benefits of kindness. 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind, the second is to be kind, and the third is to be kind. Henry James. Kindness has many benefits, including increased happiness and a healthy heart. It slows down the aging process and improves relationships and connections, which indirectly boost your health. People believe kindness is particular to those of religious faith because of their moral vows. Kindness does not require you to be of religious faith or even spiritual. Demonstrations of kindness are observed in man's best friend, the dogs. Cats also show kindness and are treasured for their emotional connection. Cats don't show that kindness as much as dogs, though, I gotta say, although I love cats. Kindness broadens your life's frame of reference and is a symbol of respect to value the receiver. It influences the giver more than the receiver and has correlations with enhanced mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Through the 1990s, the late Dr. Masaru Emoto performed a series of experiments examining the natural effects of words, prayers, music, and environment on the crystalline structure of water. He noted when kind and loving words were conveyed to the water, they formed a complete crystal structure compared to energies of hate and anger. Considering approximately 70% of our body is made up of water, kindness has a direct impact on our immediate health. People believe kindness signifies weakness and being taken advantage of. It's important to delineate between kindness and being a doormat to others. You can be kind and assertive when others attempt to profit from your kindness. Author Matt Kahn states, when human interactions become a way of practicing self-acceptance by treating others with more patience, kindness, and respect, a constant need to be heard shifts into listening as an act of love. You should in no way undermine your self-worth at the expense of others, but simply practice kindness while upholding your integrity. Be kind anyway. My religion is very simple. My religion is kindness, the Dalai Lama. It's no surprise wicked acts have a greater impression on us than acts of kindness. We are alerted to fear more than goodness. Psychologists believe we are wired to detect that which threatens our survival and happiness. We give attention to acts of cruelty in the news because it is perceived as a threat to our survival. In these times of disingenuous social media interactions, unkindness abounds as people hide behind their screens. That's very much something we see in this day and age. People being unkind, hiding behind their computer screens. This does not make it appropriate to abuse others. There's a person on the other side of the screen with feelings we must take into account. An important lesson in kindness involves asking yourself, how would I handle being the recipient of this? If it doesn't feel good, avoid the behavior. Hurt is hurt, and every time we honor our own struggle and the struggles of others by responding with empathy and compassion, the healing that results affects all of us, avows author and social researcher Brené Brown in Rising Strong. If you've never heard her speak or in a podcast or anything, Brené Brown is really somebody interesting to listen to. I've heard her in a number of podcasts. I wish to leave you with a passage from Mother Teresa's poem titled Anyway, in which she states, people are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. Incorporate the smallest acts of kindness into your everyday life and notice the ripple effects. The butterfly effect in chaos theory asserts that a tiny event in one region of the globe can have a substantial effect somewhere else. Armed with this knowledge, it is the Dalai Lama who reminds us that if you can't be kind, avoid harming others. Yeah, this is very much played out on social media a lot. And I see it, and a lot of times I don't think that people are unkind or necessarily bad people. It's the ego getting involved. I just see people saying things all the time on social media that it's just like, you didn't really need to say that. You were attacked. You felt like you had to do that. Now, for me personally, it doesn't matter. People, you can say things to me and I just don't really feel it at all. But in fact, that's almost an exercise for me. When somebody says something negative to me online, that's some work I can do not to respond in kind. But it's tough because I'm definitely not that doormat. I'm definitely not that doormat. I'm not going to let you slap me in the face. I'm not going to let you slap the other side of the face. So we do the best we can, but in any situation, just think about that. Just always think, how can I be kind? Can I, do I need to do what I'm doing in this situation? And always default to that kind setting, whenever possible. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed that little reading today. Good to connect with you. I'm about to go watch a little college football and then maybe get outside a little bit later this afternoon. So y'all have a beautiful weekend. Love each and every one of you, and peace.